What's up everyone, this is Ryan here. Today I'm going to do a talking video of the Stihl RCA20 hand press washer. I really hope some point this thing will get used at some point this year because because this is a pretty nice looking push washer in my opinion. I do like this thing a lot because honestly you can see this thing actually looks pretty nice in my opinion. It looks like it has a brush motor in it, but I think it's fine. Push washer. I mean the bag gets hot, the motor gets hot, and also basically gets warm. You can see because you can see there's no water in there. You can see because you see how much it's better this thing. But it's definitely always better this thing. So I really hope at some point this thing will get used at some point this year. It will. You can see. I mean this is a 2024 model, so this thing came out like in November. Which is definitely how much better this machine is, but don't surprise the thing is actually gonna get used almost like quite a bit. Which is definitely will get used at some point this year because I really want to get this thing used again at some point this year because it will get used at some point because you know how I expect it. Because like I said, we don't really use this thing as often, but we do use it at the beginning of the season, and this thing has been used since May and June, and I haven't been using it ever since. You can see because I really hope some point this thing will get used at some point because well I mean it will exactly. Because I really hope some point this thing will get used at some point because you can see I mean look at how this thing is actually being used almost like every single time this machine is acting. I mean, we expected this machine is acting. Don't surprise that this thing is gonna get used almost like quite a bit because, well, I mean, I was just saying, what this thing is actually gonna get used almost like no matter what because this machine is gonna get used almost like quite a bit. Okay, so you mean no how expected this thing is actually just gonna get used almost like quite a bit. So, but I hope at some point this thing will get used at some point this year for 2025 exactly, which it definitely will get used at some point, but I hope at some point this thing will get used this year for 2025.